All right, everybody, welcome to the podcast. Let me put some music on here real quick so that way we have a little ambiance. That's not the music that I wanted. That's not the music that I had. Damn it. There we go. All right, very good. Oh. This is why I need a Stream Deck Plus. All right, that's good. All right, everybody, welcome. Let me enter the stage real quick.
So goofy.
All right,
I love it.
Everybody, welcome to the Spot'em Podcast. This is our very first pilot episode, and we're thrilled to embark on an exciting journey through the realms of current events, gaming, and streaming. Join us as we dive into the latest headlines, engaging debates, and captivating stories that define our digital age. We got a panel, a full-fledged panel here today. We got Kainitsu. Say hi, Kainitsu.
Hello. Hi,
we got Frenzy Man.
Hello.
We got Sugar Don't Smile.
Hello.
And we got Coco.
Hello.
You copied my hello.
So, yeah. All right, so we're going to start off the podcast. I guess we'll start off with just how's everybody doing today on this this fine Saturday evening, and how was everyone's holiday weekend? Except, I mean, Frenzy is not. He's in Mexico, not in the U.S. But the rest of the panel, I guess, we'll get back to Frenzy on how his week was. But how was everyone's fourth?
Fine. That was party. That was nice.
Everyone
It was
had
on a
fun.
Tuesday, so
Yeah, it was on a Tuesday.
yeah. But I did get to play some Fortnite. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah, it was pretty good for me. It was on a Tuesday, but I had family members over and they got pretty they got pretty wasted, but I was playing some pickleball, which was pretty cool. And then I had to be the designated driver for everybody, so yeah, it was pretty cool. Gonna be playing some pickleball again tomorrow.
Very interesting.
How was yours, Coco?
It was good. Like, we had just arrived to Florida when the fourth hit, so we hung out with some old friends at a party.
Okay. And Frenzy, how was your week going? Anything interesting to report?
Yeah, regular week, just work. That's it. I don't have any holidays on the next month. I have a holiday I supposedly I have a holiday on September, but the actual date lands on a weekend, and usually when that happens, we don't get any days off work.
Okay. So do you don't have any big federal holidays in the summertime?
No.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, I mean, as long as everyone had a good week, I appreciate everyone being here. This is obviously unexplored territory. I've been wanting to have a podcast and set this up for the longest time. So we're kind of off the cuff here. Basically, the parameters here is that we're just gonna talk about anything gaming, streaming, and current events related. Stay out of politics, anything sexual, anything like that. Keep it all within the content creator space stuff, and so let's I have a few things that I wanted to talk about that I thought were kind of interesting that happened over the last week, and I think I brought this up to everyone so far, but has everyone seen the woman freak out on the plane thing yet?
Yes.
Dude, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen
Is it horrible?
whole-
I laughed first. That was my first reaction.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
need context. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no.
depends. I mean, so with everything, we if you haven't seen it or anything, we can either
I can share a link with Sugar, and she can share. The Forbes article actually has like a video of it, and then it actually goes further past that person. But if you want to talk about like just the incident itself first before like dive in and showing anything.
Well, I mean, yeah, Sugar, you want to bring up the video because I don't think Frenzy has seen this incident. So if you want to share your screen and bring up just the TikTok video.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but like
and,
the video is like 10 minutes long, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, but no,
So
but isn't it like
shared,
a TikTok?
So I shared a link in our.
Oh, did you
chat.
share a link with? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And it's a Forbes article. It's very condensed, like TikTok videos, like 25 seconds long. It's only just to show like
right, yeah, if we
what,
can get some
what level
condensed,
she was at that point. just some context of what was going on. But then it goes past that as well, with like some other person trying to get some stupid ass internet fame. So
of course, I mean it's all always for clout.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of like I think that's gonna be the overall arch of this conversation as to how some of this stuff is really kind of detrimental overall to just society as a whole. But at the same time, everyone's guilty of consuming this sort of content, and us as content creators, we got to kind of acknowledge that and try to make it so that way we're not necessarily perpetuating the bad stuff. But I mean, at the same time, superficially, when you watched it, a lot of people just laughed at it, you know, like I laughed at it too when I first saw it. But then the context, you get that slow drip of the context as to what was actually possibly going on.
Is he breaking up for anyone else, or is it just me?
Oh no, I hear him just fine.
No.
Are you showing something?
I can hear Scott if
So do you just want me to share like?
Just share like the web page if you want, like the browser. That'd be easiest, I guess.
Article?
Yeah, with the article. Also in the article there is like there's like a little short video of her in her episode.
There is. Okay.
Yeah, and then it goes down further, just talking about like the aftermath with some dumbass as well. So just kind of, it's a very weird situation.
Okay.
That it is.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, let me just.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I
I
have
can.
a chat ad right here.
Yeah, so that's the video.
But I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with him or not. I'm not going to.
Okay.
Wait, what?
So that's like the gist of what was going on.
Yeah.
So thoughts, everybody.
So wait, so she saw someone and thought that person wasn't real,
Correct.
Yeah, she thought they were fake.
but he was real.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
first
he was
time.
a little person.
Yeah.
Do what now?
So the person she was sitting next to, she in her mind thought that they were artificial, not real. But then that it became a game of telephone in the social media sphere as it got shared. Then rumors about it was a reptilian and all this other craziness came out.
Yeah, the whole reptilian thing, that's part of the aftermath of everything. Like,
Right, that's part of because
douche I was talking about.
she never said that this person was a reptilian. She just said the person was not real.
That's just people always escalating things. It always happens when something like this blows up.
Right.
Oh yeah. And again, everyone wants to.
People use drugs, so.
Yeah.
The thing
That's
is,
true.
I mean, just watching her, I mean, I know a lot of people when they go on an airplane, they'll take like Xanax or some kind of
They take
downer.
some sort of medication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because a lot of people get super anxious flying. So, even I personally know people that take certain things to help them like sleep on a plane, on a flight, especially if it's going to be anything longer than 2 hours or something like that. But she didn't seem like she was either like intoxicated from like drinking or any kind of like narcotic that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, but
that wasn't
then
a
that could
downer
also,
for sure. And
right.
Yeah, I just feel like
I
the
don't know,
things that you take like on airplanes and stuff, they don't cause hallucinations. But
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
think-
have much experience with that.
I think more or less she probably had some kind of manic episode. That's what I'm leaning towards.
Do we know like the mental
No, and I mean,
background of
no.
this lady?
yeah,
Nope.
and I mean, in all honesty, we shouldn't unless they choose to release that information.
Correct. But
but-
this woman that's in the video, like she hasn't come out. No one's actually doxed her. No one's really found. She hasn't said anything in response to this blowing up. So she probably wants to stay private. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't blame her. And again, it could be a plethora of things that happened.
Oh yeah,
totally.
totally.
It's an odd situation. First off, like she had said nothing about a dude being
A
being
reptilian.
reptilian at all.
Right.
I'll go into that here in just a little bit more and just kind of read some excerpts out of that article. Yeah, but it could be, again, it could have been like a mental breakdown. It could have been something to do with something else. She could be schizophrenic, or she just might be like super deep into a conspiratorial hole.
Yep.
And has gotten that far deep that it's like really just kind of rattled her brain for a little bit. It could be so many different things. So,
especially if it's a mental health type of thing that's going on with her, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, I feel for her. I hate that's happened. It sucks that this is like what she's known on the internet for now.
Yep.
But it's even worse. Like I said, whenever other people come out of the woodwork, there's those people who want to get internet clout or want to try to, as Frenzy like said, escalate things, or even just like get in on it, or just have some way of getting some type of internet fame for just like these people used to say, oh, they're 15 minutes of fame or 10 minutes of fame. Now it's just you're like
Instagram,
on the internet
fame or TikTok fame. Yep, absolutely.
Your viral moment that is a blink between
and not
everything
to
else happening to the world at this point.
A viral moment that she didn't choose to be viral for. Yeah, she had an outburst on a plane, and anybody in today's day and age, if you have any kind of issues like that where you may possibly have some type of outburst, no matter what you have, whatever mental condition or whatever, you have to realize that every single person in public is going to have a phone and they're going to record. Like everyone. You can't go anywhere in public anymore. Like I even wear a mask now whenever I go out in public, like even not just for like the whole COVID situation, just to kind of maintain some kind of semblance of privacy. Because no matter what goes on out there, someone could easily just record you. Even if you're like, scratching your ass in public, like you have an itch, someone's going to record you and then put you on TikTok. So it's like, I don't blame this girl for like not saying shit, but I'm sure, people are trying to protect her identity. I'm sure someone will dox her eventually, which is also horrible, but at the same time, it's like, I hope that doesn't happen because, this girl or this woman didn't do this for herself. It looks like to get any kind of internet points or internet.
How long ago was this published?
This just happened recent. Like this past week. Yeah,
I think it was like 3 or so days ago.
Yeah, something like that.
It's pretty recent. Was July.
It will die down. It will die down by next week.
Yeah, I mean it will, but here's the other thing that goes apart with that. So again, unfortunately for her, hopefully this will pass for her. Whatever it was, if she were to happen to possibly take in some medication to possibly help her pass her time through that, but it reacted to her in a different way, or whatever it is that she is facing, hopefully she gets over that, and this can not just be what she's known for. So that's good. And again, it's a very small thing that happened in a lot of ways, but this is what it got taken further. Again, like these people just want to feed onto it, or just again latch onto something that have no business in being on it. So there's this guy named Lee. He's one of those nice Twitter people, and he decided to upload a video and talk about and say like, hey, I was totally on that plane, but in the description he even said that he made it all up. He made it up.
So it was just like so he's saying that he was on the plane was a lie.
Yeah, so he already admitted, like in the first post with the video and everything, that he made that all up. Like it's not real. And let's go over his little fantasy there he had there real quick. He said he was listening to an audiobook by Stephen King on that flight.
Oh, of course. There you go.
Fucking idiot.
Of course.
But notice some weird things about the woman's conversation with a fellow passenger wearing a hooded sweatshirt. Lee's story included details about the woman having a conversation with hoodie guy. It's this guy's an idiot.
Piggybacked off the whole situation for internet clout. That's it.
Yeah, he said he supposedly didn't say a word back to her when she was like, "You're crazy person," and clearly implying this man had some kind of supernatural mind powers. Lee's story finished with the man in the hoodie supposedly winking at Lee, but the big twist.
Oh my god!
He made all these
that
with
kind
like
of human wink. It was a lizard blink.
he made all that with like AI or something because that's.
Yeah, he said when he made a wink, it was like eyelids from like a reptile because they blink sideways, or they have the extra lids and everything. So yeah, that was his story. He even said it was fake, but then he wanted to go and refute that and put up a supposed video like saying, "Oh no, it was totally real, guys. I was on the plane. That happened. There's a lizard guy, lizard people."
Are we sure he wasn't on meds?
Yeah, who knows, man? But yeah, no, that's just sick. Especially if that person really did just have like some kind of like mental breakdown or just didn't have like a good time with something. People, man, a lot of people are gross. It makes me sad.
There will always be people like that.
Yep, that's the problem. You know, it's just that people they something blows up, then people, you know, they totally try to piggyback off of it and try to get the internet points from it. You know, the internet clout. It's all about clout for people, and it's kind of disgusting, but
yeah,
because we have no idea. This woman could have been having a freaking breakdown on a plane. Next thing you know, it's on TikTok, gets millions and millions of views, and then people are gonna try to be like, "Oh, I was on that plane. I could get you know so many followers on TikTok now." You know, it's like, oh, come on, dude. It's kind of crazy, but.
But hopefully this will pass. I mean,
oh yeah, there'll be something else next week that's going to be just as crazy.
Yeah,
something's going to happen in like the next 2 seconds.
Yeah, nothing sticks. Nothing like that sticks for very long.
No, that's the fortunate thing. So
collectively, we don't have the attention span to give a shit for that long.
Oh no, but I mean,
not like that. But since like it's just something we see, and since it's not something that affects us, like we just don't care after watching it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that the media did with the Ocean Gate thing, where they gave everyone hope that these people were somehow alive in this tiny submersible. You know.
Oh yeah, no.
You know,
it imploded.
It was
they
like
died
1,500. Yeah, they died
hundreds.
that day. You know, there was no chance of survival. The Navy knew that, that the thing blew up, but they didn't want to say because, they didn't want to make sure, like, the families were aware and everything. And then the next thing you know, the news is, like, just saying, like, oh, well, they hear sounds and it could be them tapping inside the thing. Meanwhile, the Titanic is, what, like 1,500 meters or whatever below the ocean surface, and the depths of that with the amount of pressure. It was someone was saying it's like a bunch of Empire State Buildings like standing on top of you, like that's what they do.
Yeah.
It's all about trying to get that engagement and get people to continue watching, and it's kind of horrible, but that's just how it rolls.
And it can't be them wanting to be like, we just wanted to have a good feel-good story and not end badly. Nah, man, you give everyone bad news every day. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're just there trying to make that money. I mean, and then that's the world, unfortunately. But
yeah.
Sad world.
Yep, though, because they gave the family and everybody like false hope. Like, oh
yeah,
that's the problem. That was a big problem for me. Imagine being like somewhat related.
Yep, they get to go on and be like, oh well, our apologies and prayers. Here's our next news story.
Something messed up is
they don't even apologize about it either.
No, I know. Just the thing they usually say.
They're dead and that's it. Like, no biggie. And then moved on with their lives.
Like oops,
what?
Sorry we made all that money from advertisers, but anyway.
Yeah, sorry we milked your family's death for like clout and all that.
Yeah, right? They literally milked like people's deaths for like monetary gain, and no one bats an eye, and they're like, listen, that's That's not right. But
No.
here we are. That's the state of society right now. I guess we could segue into did anyone see the fake Mr. Beast prank on that hearing impaired kid? This is another thing that's like a toxic trait of social media right now. So these pranks are getting out of fucking control.
Damn, you guys watch sad stuff.
Yeah, it's
this is the world we live in.
Meanwhile, I'm just here
Made me
watching.
watch it.
Meanwhile, I'm just here watching that new Superman cartoon.
We can get into the more upbeat stuff, sure, but I just want to say, like, you know, with that whole thing, these freaking prank channels, bro, they need to stop. They really need to stop. Like, I think that shit, like, I'm not like an advocate for like banning this stuff on social media, but like it's to the point where it's like it's getting crazy where people are doing ridiculously stupid pranks. Either someone's gonna get killed, you're gonna screw with the wrong person with these pranks, and I think it's already happened where people have gotten beaten up, but like I think someone's gonna get straight up get capped.
Oh yeah, and this can tie into something else too, which I can segue into that a little bit later. But if you want to go into the whole thing, we can go into that.
Go ahead.
So with the Mr. Beast story, or you want me to go ahead and talk about the point I had?
Go ahead, whatever you want to do. Feel free.
Sure. I guess I'll intro the Mr. Beast story. Okay, so this Mr. Beast story, some dickless dude went up to an 8-year-old kid and his dad, trying to do some prank thing on TikTok to get his lowly content some views. And so he goes up and introduces himself saying like he's part of Mr. Beast, but not really. They're kind of like it's worded as we're kind of like Mr. Beast, but not really. But it's implying that they're with Mr. Beast, and that's what the kid heard.
Enough, Mr. Beast.
Yeah. So they're right there. He's already tugging at his
just
child.
Another cloud chaser.
And again, big man to break a kid's heart. Oh god, it's so awful. So what they ended up doing to the dad and the kid, they said that you're gonna go on a blindfold shopping spree, and they seemed like really excited, and it seemed like someone possibly a family who may not have any luxury of buying anything a lot for themselves other than just trying to survive like many other people in this world. And they got them all hyped up and everything, and not only that, they played into the kid's like impairment. Like he has hearing aids, so he apparently is impaired to that. And the dad didn't even hear this comment, but he even like the dude even told the kid that like, oh, you have hearing aids. Well, that's also like doubly why we chose you for this. Like he really like built this up for that kid. So once they blindfolded themselves, they just ran.
Which just makes it even more horrible that they. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just crazy that like that's the state of things right now.
And so they told the kid that they chose him for something, and they just left.
Yep. They just dipped. Yeah, they basically try to imply that they are either with Mr. Beast or someone like Mr. Beast who has like an inordinate amount of money just to do crazy stuff and like play into the kids like hearing impairment and everything.
Like and that's why, because Mr. Beast's been doing a lot of videos where he's helping people with hearing issues and helping people with vision issues. He did like of course, Mr. Beast actually did a good thing and got hate for that. But these people were kind of like, well, because you have this issue, we're gonna let you put on a blindfold, get as much stuff as you want out of this Target or whatever, and then you don't have to pay for anything. So it was all played into it. And then they dipped, and then this family, the kid and his father, were just sitting there with their completely not being able to, they just felt completely robbed, and they felt like shit. Yeah, and it's understandable.
It's a super sad news story. So they were obviously like interviewed about it and stuff. And this stupid little bitch boy has a response video.
Right? Yes, that's the thing. So, like he tried to justify it.
Did he play did he play an ukulele too?
Man, so the dude was talking about oh well, I didn't like how the dad was presenting the story in the interview. I mean, yeah, I did it, but we're not super bad guys. We're just bad guys.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh, bro, you're not really doing any favors for yourself, man. You're obviously human garbage. Get the fuck out of here.
This kind of reminds me of another prank I saw a while ago. It happened a few months. I saw it on Twitter about this YouTuber who goes to this homeless guy in front of Burger King or McDonald's, and he asks.
I think I know.
what he
I think
wants
I know
to
the
eat,
story.
and he buys.
He eats it in
the
front of him,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, he eats it in front of him.
I saw this. That was that. Now that was horrible. That was horrible.
What?
That was bad.
How horrible of
They
a
say-
person
and-
do you have to be?
Yeah, and
I
they said
do
it's
shit
a
like that.
prank. Like it's
Well,
a
that's what I'm
prank. Like,
saying.
No,
This
man,
whole
that's just
prank shit is
cruelty.
out of control, bro. It's out of control.
Laughing.
Like, it's actually this prank culture bullshit is actually making people more shittier. Like, straight up more shittier.
So,
Because it's like incentivizing people to act like human garbage, essentially.
I guess internet fame is still internet fame, regardless if it's good or
Yeah,
bad.
if it's good or bad, you're still known. People don't care. I mean, they're trolls who are famous. Are like, yeah, I'm known for being a dick. Hate me. I love your hate. It gives me nourishment.
And the
not-
thing is, there are still people that will like that. It's
Yeah.
not-
Like,
besides
I'm trying
all
to think,
the
like,
people-
I'm trying not to be a boomer about this, but like I'm trying to think back to like when the internet was like kind of in its not really infancy stages, but
Infancy.
like when YouTube like you had bum fights, right? Like that was a thing.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
World Star Hip Hop was a thing.
World Star.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you had stuff like that, but it wasn't. I feel like it was even like bum fights and shit was not as bad as like the shit that's going on now, because I feel like now it's just like more targeted and more personal, and it's just more all
yeah.
around shitty.
People can. There are a lot more people that can do it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
It was,
accessibility.
it was more
yeah.
of like an underground thing. Yeah, it didn't gain as much exposure as much as things do now.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely not as prevalent. Like, yeah, everyone watched a bum fight or two, or some people doing like crazy wrestling in their backyard or some stuff like that. You know, but most of the like the beginning of like the first like very popular YouTube videos, it was not like things that went viral were nothing like that. Like drinking
Just
out of
meme
cups
videos.
it was just like meme videos.
Yeah.
You know, some of it was kind of edgy, but not like it wasn't like degrading to like individual people, like actually out there to make people feel like shit, like the person that's the butt of the joke, essentially. But yet,
Yeah.
like a lot of the content that we used to watch back then is now considered too edgy to be on the internet now. But this shit is totally fine to be on
Right.
TikTok. Like what
Yeah,
the fuck?
it makes no sense. This is what I was going to talk about, like how, which I feel like is a good. segue
Okay,
off
let me
that.
say something
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
about what you said, that people get triggered about edgy stuff. People get triggered about anything nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know. I can throw a rock somewhere and people will.
You can't
Yeah,
hit that crap. Why'd you throw that rock? Like,
Well, Twitter's the hellhole of all of that.
You're supposed
You know,
to throw
you
rocks.
say you don't like pancakes, and someone's like, "Oh, so you hate waffles?"
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Well,
That's the thing. People in the thing is, it doesn't even matter. People complain about stuff that doesn't even matter.
I
Yeah,
feel like
well,
it's
like,
way
that-
more
that
worse
gives me
now,
a-
though.
No, it is. It definitely
Oh, yeah.
is. But that's the thing.
what it is.
Like,
what it is.
for example, Cicada, about the Mario RPG boxer. Like, people are complaining about the stupid
Oh,
boxer when they're
I'm
not
guilty.
going to be
I'm
even
guilty.
looking at
I'm
that.
guilty.
What is it?
I'm
What?
guilty. I'm guilty of that
What are you
myself.
complaining about?
So
Oh.
basically, Super Mario RPG is a game that came out on the Super Nintendo in 1996. It was the first RPG I
Okay.
ever played. And I was like, I was a little kid back in the 90s, and I loved playing that. That was like an amazing game. And back then, the box art for it was really, really cool. It like showed like Mario with like, you know, the whole castle and the sword and the 7 stars, and it even had the subtitle Legend of the 7 Stars. The Japanese box art was just a boring white box with just Mario, Peach, or Toadstool at the time, Yoshi, Bowser, Gino, or I think Mallow and
Basically,
Gino.
the character standing in a white background.
Yeah, it was it was just a white box with all the characters on the front. Didn't even have a subtitle. It just said Super Mario RPG, and it said that was it. So and it had a white background. So with the last Nintendo Direct that just came out, they're remaking that game. So like a bunch of people freaked out. It's a cherished love classic. Blah blah blah. But when the pre-orders went up, the box is based off the Japanese, so it's just a white
Japanese
background
version.
It's based, so the box art is
It's
based
a
off
remake
the
version of the Japanese version. And
they're
and
not
I-
they're not creating like a North American variant that's kind of similar to the SNES release box art from the 90s. So a bunch of people on Twitter got upset, including myself. I didn't get upset. I was just like, oh yeah, well it's a boring box, whatever. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But people literally like lost their shit though. People lost their shit about it.
Yeah,
people were
that's
like,
the thing.
I'm not buying
Why-
this game.
worry about
Boycott.
Don't worry about that. You won't even. The only time you'll be watching the box art is when you pick up the game. That's it.
True.
The way I
about
justified it in my mind, though, is that I'm also a physical media collector. So I collect. The main reason why I love having my Nintendo Switch is because I buy all my games physical. I literally have over 100 Nintendo Switch games in physical form. So I do look at the box art, and I look at it as a piece of art in of itself.
We're not Switch friends yet. That's so rude.
Oh, do you have Mario Kart?
I do.
And Mario Party?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit! Yeah, we're gonna rock.
I'm
that
sorry, I just
because-
completely derailed your entire.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But the whole point is that like the only reason I justified in my head why I joined into that whole like, oh well, the box art sucks, was because I collect it and I was like, oh well, I'm still happy the game's coming. It's still gonna be a day one purchase for me. I'm still gonna play it and beat it and stream it, but. At the end of the day, it's just like, I fell victim to that whole like, oh, well, the box art does look like shit. And then as I start seeing more, I saw more context and people like, oh, no, it's a homage to the Japanese, box art. And I'm like, all right, fine. It's not that big of a deal. But people literally did lose their mind and start saying that they were going to boycott the game and stuff. But that's
Really?
Twitter discourse for you. That's Twitter discourse for you.
They're not.
No, of course they're not. Of course they're not.
They're gonna boycott it.
People were asking about a Mario RPG remake for years, and they got one, and they still found something to complain about.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about our day, as you were saying. Like, it's so easy for people to get triggered, and it's like, wow, why is it so easy for people to get triggered? It's people literally go out of their way to find something to bitch about and be upset and be up in arms for no reason. Like the whole box art thing. Okay, yeah, no, I get from like your point. Also, for you, Zycade, it's nostalgic
that
for you.
the
It's a
fucking
nostalgic
game is
thing.
getting remade, and that was considered an
Right.
impossibility forever. Like that game was
But it's happening.
never getting a remake. It was a special game between SquareSoft and Nintendo. It's never happening. That's why they made the Paper Mario series, and that was like
Right.
Nintendo's thing from then on. It was never going to get attention ever again. It was an anomaly, and that was it. And the fact that it's fucking getting remade in the first place is crazy. So just shut the fuck up at this point and just be happy.
Exactly. Yeah, like, but then also on top of that too, like, gamers are the best about complaining about stuff that doesn't matter. Like,
And you know what? To be fair to gamers, sometimes gamers have collectively. Sometimes gamers have the right idea. Like when Diablo Immortal was fucking announced, right? Everyone was collectively like, "What the fuck? We're pissed off about this."
Isn't that the one
it's a
where you
shitty mobile game?
Isn't that the one that you had to spend like
it was gacha mechanics, pay to win.
Character?
Yeah.
One
It was
character,
developed by like a Chinese mobile company that was basically that made games that were basically all pay to win kind of shit. And collectively, the gamer community did the right thing. The gamer community sometimes does the right thing, and sometimes they do the wrong thing. But when it came to the whole Super Mario RPG thing, that was stupid. But like when Blizzard made that big blunder with Diablo Immortal, they did the right thing. And then now we got Diablo 4, which is a really good game. It's probably I feel like it's way better than Diablo 3. Obviously it's not going to top like
I've never been a fan of Diablo 3. I was like Diablo 2.
Yeah, Diablo 2 was
Diablo
definitely
3.
the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Diablo 3 really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like it at all.
It rubbed everybody the wrong way, especially with like oh sorry. Especially like that marketplace where they wanted to have like actual money. Like, it was so dumb. It was so dumb. Oh, it was so bad. But no, the whole point was that like gamers are the best at complaining about nothing that doesn't matter. They'll say, I'm gonna boycott this game. They still buy it. They're gonna buy and play it anyway.
Of course.
They're gonna buy and play it anyway. However, I actually do not buy the stuff I'm saying I'm not gonna buy. I'm very particular about games now. I buy very few things.
I wish I was.
I'm a sucker for video games. I buy video games. I usually sometimes never even have any intention of playing, or I'll play like for an hour and then never pick it up again. But
everyone has like a huge ass backlog, so that's
I've actually
everybody.
been making some good. Coco's out. Let's see if Sybil wants to. Sybil's in the audience. We can invite her if she wants to. I don't know if she wants to. She didn't raise her hand, but she can. I'll send her an invite if she wants to. But yeah, essentially that's the whole thing with video gamers in general is just like they complain about shit, and then there's some things that they have a good premise on, and other things they just don't, and so. That's just how it is.
That's how it is. But we can go on to happier topics now. If everybody wants to. Go on something happier. Get them hops in there.
So let's see what I got here on the little list. Kick versus Twitch. How's everyone feeling about that whole saga that's been going on?
I have to be honest. I don't care. I don't care.
Be honest.
I really like. It's fine. I think it's fine if people want to expand their reach. I guess, like if they want to jump from Twitch to Kick, like sure, that's fine. But
what about these big ass streamers like XQC grabbing $100 million deal and basically getting a bigger contract than someone like LeBron James?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't really care that much. So,
but that's really kind of that was the catalyst, really. And supposedly they signed another couple of streamers as well that haven't been announced yet. But $100 million, and that was the thing too about that whole deal was that it was not even an exclusive contract. So like he's like the #1 Twitch streamer, right, in subs and everything, and then. They go and they give him $100 million deal, and it's not even exclusive. So he can still stream on Twitch and stream on Kick and make money from both platforms. He just cannot stream on both platforms at the same time. That's crazy. To me, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that kind of changes the whole game.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. But I mean, at this point, Kick and YouTube have both been trying to scalp streamers from Twitch.
YouTube's been doing it for a while. Yeah,
it's good to have competition. Like, it's insane, like what people get signed on for. Like, I guess I'm gonna be a sour person. Like, with most of these people who are like really top, like that person. I've watched their content. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, like
but they want this person.
Never watch
they want this person.
Stream.
Yeah, I've seen I see like. Some people like big streamers clips on Twitter, and I'm just like, is this
what?
supposed to be like? Is this supposed to be funny, entertaining? Like,
right?
I don't know. I don't remember the name of the streamer, but it's probably like the biggest streamer on Twitch. I think
probably XQC. To be honest, because he makes no sense when he talks.
I don't think that's him. This goes by a different name, but a clip was of him. Like lighting fireworks inside his house.
Oh no, I think that's I Show Speed, and he's a YouTube streamer. Yeah, he's huge too, but he's not a Twitch streamer. He's a YouTube streamer.
And I'm just like, how are people entertained? Maybe they just like the chaos or whatever, but
I
don't find it funny. I don't find it entertaining.
Yeah, and he's done some shitty stuff to his community as well, like especially like with some crypto scams. He had like a fake Ronaldo, the soccer player, come on his stream and like promote some like shit coin that a lot of people bought into and lost a lot of money on. So he's kind of a shitty person as well.
This is why I don't mess with crypto. That's stupid. thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's it's just insane to me. Like again, but that's also like the interesting about the internet. Like anyone can somehow find an audience out there and do really well from themselves. But then someone who could do something similar or might be a lot of times be a lot better never be found. But these other people.
I try to watch people that are not necessarily wholesome. Like I like things where people just have a good head on their shoulder, a good sense about them. Generally, like they can see through, they can read between the lines, and they can see through a lot of the bullshit. Because that's, especially with AI, and this we can incorporate AI into the discussion as well. But AI in of itself and how it's interjecting itself into the creator space is going to change a lot of things, because there's going to be a lot of fake shit out there, and I've already seen it like on social media where there was an image that was shared by a bunch of people. It was like a shark on a beach, and it was like they were saying like it landed, I think, in North Carolina, and the shark was like bigger than Jaws, it was huge, but the photo looked so super real. And like,
right.
if you didn't have a good keen eye, or if you've never worked with AI and saw like the tiny little giveaways in the image that would totally be like, okay, this is an AI image, you would totally believe that shit. You'd be like, oh my god, a 40-foot great white, just beached itself in North Carolina, and it got shared like crazy. And then, of course, people eventually fact checked it and whatnot. But it's like, that's going to become way more prevalent. And now
that's why they added that. Yeah. That's why they added that context read on Twitter, because
I like that. That's actually been pretty good. It's way better than the one on Facebook.
It's because it's so easy.
It's user backed. That's why.
It's so easy right now to spread misinformation that having that feature where people can fact check something, like just it kind of counters that misinformation spread.
And the reason why I like the Twitter fact check better than other social media platforms at this point is because it's like the users are the ones that add the context. Yeah. It's not like some like truth agency that exists, and the Ministry of Truth is telling you, well, this is real and this is fake. This is a bunch of people like, listen, this is like not real because this, that, and the other thing, and here's some sources to back it up, and it's all the community that brings that together, which I like that about Twitter. But it's just, but that's gonna become the thing, and it's not even just the images. Like AI can create video now. Like, have you guys seen? Okay, sure. Voices. You got to bring up something for me. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. You guys, I don't know if you guys have seen this before.
I just want to mention something. I went to the movies and a long time ago, and one of the, I don't know, like commercials, ads, previews was an actual newscaster, but completely made of AI.
Oh.
Yes, I've seen the newscaster ones. Those were, I think, like Chinese AI. But they were pretty good. They did kind of pass off as pretty believable. I put it in the Sugar. I put it in the stream stage chat. If you could just share that, I just want it's like a minute long. But this is just like the beginning too. Like AI is gonna get better, and these are the models that are released to the public. So imagine the stuff that like Google has, IBM. Microsoft, all these other companies that are heavily investing in AI. It's gonna get absolutely bonkers as to the stuff that between AI music, AI videos. One rabbit hole I got into a little while back was they were creating AI images, and they were like basically feeding it, like they were like doing like basically putting any type of topic or subject or any kind of pop culture, and then making it in a dark 80s fantasy film. So like they would do Star Wars, and you would have like Darth Vader in like a knight's uniform and like crazy like swords that look like lightsabers, but they're swords because it's like medieval. It was really crazy. I'll find a link for that too and bring that up. But yeah, just watch this video. This shit is crazy. I mean, you can tell it's AI because it's so new.
Oh yeah, I've seen like fake ads and stuff.
Did someone say pizza?
Yeah.
Their eyes are frightening.
What the?
We've got the perfect snack for you.
Oh, because when they made this with the AI, they said make it like a '90s pizza nugget commercial. So it's like a '90s jingle to it. You have the kids dancing in the background. AI has no idea how to do that.
It's like
AI has not figured out how to make people eat food yet.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah, but is that like a...
They're fusing with the nuggets.
Thank you for that, Frank.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I got nuggets on my
Live with fire.
Pizza nuggets.
Pizza nuggets.
But it does sound very reminiscent of like a '90s, like what is it? Pizza bagel commercial or something like that. So
yeah, it's something like that. I love how it actually puts
sure.
it in 4:3 format too for resolution.
It even made it like the old TV resolution, so that way it looks like it's even kind of like VHS quality as well. So like that's crazy that it's picking up on all those little type of like things to make it look so real. And what, 5 years from now, what are you gonna see? Like it's gonna be crazy. It might become like with the way the images are now, it might actually become indistinguishable from being actually like looking real.
I mean, look at Unreal 5. Like that is some really impressive tech.
Unreal 5
is
crazy. It is crazy.
It is crazy. Did you have any of you been able to experience or have watched the PS5 Matrix demo on the PS5?
No.
Was that when they introduced the PS5 or no? I don't think I saw that, but I did see that game.
No, it's
that game that's running in Unreal 5 that people were like, "Oh, this is just GoPro cam footage." Did you see that one?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that that's come out with people just playing around with the new engine. But no, so it's an actual demo that you can download onto your PS5, and it was just a showcase for Unreal Engine 5. And it's actually like the Matrix, and it goes in between like the actual actors of Keanu Reeves and like an Unreal Engine like CGI model of them.
Oh, it's like I'll let you finish.
Yeah, and there's that, and it actually like shows you like the city, and it's awesome because it actually has like the green tint that you have, like you're in the Matrix and everything. Where you can like, and it shows you can actually like go and look at like all the nodes and how everything's set up, and like it's really interesting. But yeah, that's something if you've never seen, check it out. If you have a PS5, download it. It's definitely something worth checking out from the store. It's free. Just download it. It's really cool because you even get to like it shows like a whole scene that's like all matrices and stuff. And once the scene's over, you get to just go and ride around the Matrix City. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sugar, just play this real quick. I want people on stream to see this. This is an Unreal Engine 5, and this looks so
Did you see the
fucking real.
Tesla commercial with an AI Ryan Reynolds?
No,
I didn't see that. You have to send the link to that. We'll watch that too.
Let me see if I can find it.
But yeah, this game, there was like a gigantic debate online as to whether or not this game was real, like GoPro footage, or if it was actually running an engine. And the developers actually had to like show the game running in Unreal Engine 5 for people to actually, and people still didn't believe that the game wasn't like a GoPro fake.
Yeah, there was another video that's kind of like this. It wasn't for an actual game though. It was just like someone just dimming around and playing around with like
the gameplay in this. Like I want to know how this game is actually going to play. Like is it going to be on rails or is it going to be like they said like it's going to be actually like an FPS. So, but the way that the movements look in this game is kind of crazy. So.
Yeah, but the other video, this came out like about a year ago, I guess. But anyway, this person, it was like some Japanese person.
Yeah, check this out. This is fucking nuts.
I think they took it down because I cannot find it.
Like this game, this is where people really just they were like, wait a second, this is not in-game footage. This can't be.
It is not
because the way that the way that the movements are, it doesn't look like how you would normally like. It looks almost like a VR game. Or maybe like an augmented reality type game?
Okay, that movement does look a little bit like a game.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
as you, if you really do a deep analysis of it, you can tell it's a game. But like you can tell like the smoke and stuff, certain things are like certain assets you can see that are actually a game. But that actually looks so fucking real. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and that's just like the beginning of people using Unreal Engine 5 for like new game titles and stuff. So
yeah, it's really interesting of what they've been able to accomplish with this and what we haven't even really seen out of the engine just yet. I've just seen like tech demos, like the most recent tech demo that Epic did was insane.
Her Discord might have crashed.
Oh no!
The video died and she popped out. Her Discord might have crashed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that happened to me earlier.
Yeah, my Discord crashed. My Discord crashes sometimes with stages. I don't know why, but it happens. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, like, and like Final Fantasy 16, right? It's a new AAA game that just came out, and
exclusive to PlayStation.
Exclusive to PlayStation 5. You can't even get it on PS4.
Timed.
Yeah, it's a timed exclusive, and that actually kind of explains a lot of the sales issues that have been going on with it. It's actually it's sold less than Final Fantasy 15, but that's a whole other thing. Mm-hmm. But it's I would not. I mean, the game is definitely beautiful. The environments are beautiful, but like it doesn't. I don't think we're there yet in terms of like how games are gonna look when we have Unreal Engine 5. Like actual games running. Like I'm really wondering what the new GTA. Oh, did you guys see the GTA 6 leaks? They happened a while back.
I don't know.
No.
So I saw some things, but I don't know if they're real or not.
I saw the ones that was like basically pre-alpha stuff.
I saw that I saw something that the map is like twice as big as the one in GTA 5.
Oh yeah, the map is gonna be huge. But they've been working on that game for God knows how long, like close to 10 years or whatever.
10 years, yeah, something like that.
It's funny because
the game is still like in a pre-alpha. The leaks were full. They got leaked last year, but the leaks were from builds from 2019. So they were older builds of the game from 2019, pre-pandemic, but I mean, the amount of shit that's going to be in that game is crazy. But they kind of, like, ruined some of the story and stuff like that with leaks. So if you care about the story and stuff like that, then, yeah, don't look at the leaks. But it definitely is going to be a crazy, big-ass game. That's going to be one crazy open-world game when it comes out. But, they're saying...
I heard they stopped development on GTA 6 because they're going to remaster Red Dead Redemption.
Well, Red Dead Redemption, actually, the remake or the remaster just got a rating in Korea. So I think that remaster is finished. Yeah, I think that actually is going to come out within the next year. I think it actually might come out this year. Actually, it might come out before the end of this year, because it actually
is it a remake of the first?
It's a remaster. Yeah, it's a remaster. I think they just took the. I just think they utilized the Red Dead Redemption 2 engine, which is basically the GTA 5 engine, and just redid the textures and everything, remastered it in that. But yeah, I think that game is coming out this year.
3.
That's the thing. These AAA games are taking too long to make.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the scale they're trying to go. Everyone wants to go big and spend like $500 million.
When did Final Fantasy 15 come out? 2016, 2015?
You can check that.
We need to look that up.
Yes.
I can just look it up real quick. 1 second. Final Fantasy 15.
It came out in
release
2016.
Okay, so 2016. So we just got Final Fantasy 16 a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
So that and that for like an RPG game, because I'm a huge RPG fanatic, that game can be beaten in like less than 35 hours. I just dumped 120 something hours into Octopath Traveler 2. So a AAA game costing me only 35 hours is kind of like meh. It's mid, I still like the game and everything, but
yeah, it's
like what's a work week?
Right. I mean, but the thing is, like, if you look at Tears of the Kingdom, people are dropping 160 hours into Tears of the Kingdom, Well,
yeah, but it's a different type of game. There's also like it has like a huge creative element to that game as well. So
open world style
that's
as
going to
well,
be a
so
big,
there's a lot of extra
that as
exploration
well,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
but still,
So I mean,
yeah.
it's a very well made game. So it just depends, like, on what they did to make you want to play for that long, or if you want to do all the extra stuff. If it was like their intent to make it that long, and again, a lot of work goes into something to make it that long. Like Witcher 3, their very first game, the first time I played that game, I put 120 hours into that game.
Yeah, right.
I
120
didn't even
hours
finish
Octopath
everything.
too. Yeah, and even for me with Octopath, it was a very linear game, so it wasn't like open world. I mean, you basically had to, go through all the chapters, very linear, and it still took me 120 hours. And I didn't do everything in the game. I didn't do all the side quests. I didn't there's a secret boss I didn't beat. Like, there's so much. I mean, I can go back.
Right.
It has replay value, and I can go back and do stuff and do a new game plus and stuff. But at the same time, it's just like, that's a lot of time.
Right, and the same thing I've done with Elden Ring. I have like 130 hours in that game. So I mean,
Elden Ring.
it just depends on the game. But for me personally, like, even if it's a AAA game, if it is like a good experience and if it's like 20 hours, okay, sure. I don't care if it's 20 hours. That's a lot of time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And especially to make a video game. Making video games is hard. A lot goes into it, and like, they have to figure out crazy
that's
stuff
the
for things to
problem.
work the way they're supposed to. So
Right. Look at Starfield.
so
I mean,
yeah.
that's a whole other thing. People are already shitting on it, like, oh, it's gonna be a bug-ridden mess. But I mean, I hope.
Bethesda doesn't have the greatest track
No,
record.
but
So I mean,
doesn't.
that's
They
warranted.
don't. But the thing is, I'm still not wishing for the game to fucking fail. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
want
don't
the
want it
game
to be
to live up to
bad.
its promises. I want the.
Yeah,
I don't want another Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, but
dilemma.
That's the thing. You put your whatever they're saying or promising you. You go lower, man. Don't feed into their hype. wait to see. That's just how it is at this point. Like even still, like they can get away with like, oh, this is what a game's gonna be. Like, this is pre-alpha footage that's gonna change in the future. Makes people like, oh, it's so cinematic and awesome.
You guys
Comes out.
Right.
Have you guys not seen the developer letters when it comes to video games? Like, they say, oh, we're gonna delay the game because it's not ready, or oh, sorry for the bugs in our game because of, I don't know, whatever.
Well, we just didn't crunch hard enough.
And that's like become a trend, because you can go like on Twitter, and I don't have the image, but I once saw on Twitter, like, in this year, I think in these like 2 years, 2022 and 2023, there were like almost 10 notes about that from 10 different games.
Yeah,
That's another thing. That's a problem too. Like, it takes them all this money, all that time, and this is not every single developer, but a lot of them do it, and they shouldn't be able to do it. It should be illegal because they take people's money with pre-orders, and they release broken games, and then they don't fix the said broken games because they're not making money. Like, oh, it's not worth it, so fuck it.
Well, that's why I'm
Yeah.
not mad about
And then you stuck
Starfield
with a
being
broken
delayed.
game.
Like any other product that gets released, like if it were food and it wasn't done already, that you're killing somebody.
Right.
A piece of machinery, if it's not complete yet, if it's not,
Here's a brand new
if
car. It
the
doesn't have
patents
brakes,
haven't-
so good luck.
right.
Yeah, you gotta
we
get those
didn't
brakes
test the
separate,
tires,
guys.
We didn't test.
And I buy the
Yeah.
brakes
Don't worry, there'll be a
DLC.
day one patch for those brakes. So yeah, just
No.
Right.
have fun.
BMW actually has like a model for that. They have like car DLC stuff. Like, you buy the car,
Tesla
but then
does too.
you'll
yeah.
get all the things for the car. You could buy extra things for your car to add on to. Okay, modifications
Tesla has
are a
that.
thing already,
Tesla has
but
that
it's
too.
like this be things that should have gotten with the car to begin with.
Wait,
Well, you
so
got.
they're saying
That's where
Right.
boycotting and
buy
protesting
the
with your
car,
money
but
actually
the
makes sense.
essentials come separate.
Yeah.
Like, I heard
It's-
something like the radio stereo separate.
You want a cup holder, friend? Oh, that's gonna be $50.
Yeah, it's so true. But that's why I'm not mad that like Bethesda delayed the release of Starfield. Like,
But
I watched
that's the thing,
that Xbox Direct. I watched that Starfield Direct, and I'm
did
really excited for that game. Like, that game, if it lives
Yeah.
up to the promises of what they're selling us and what they're telling us, it should be fucking amazing. Right now we have people saying Spider-Man 2 is going to be Game of the Year, that Tears of the Kingdom is going to be I don't think Spider-Man 2 is gonna be game of the year, but that's neither here
It
nor
will
there.
be in my
I don't think so.
We'll see.
I don't think so.
It will
mean,
be.
I haven't finished Miles
That's all that
Morales,
matters to me.
but
I think,
the
the
Insomniac game for Spider-Man, like, it was a very good story for the first game. I still need to finish up Miles Morales, but I could see it being a contender for that. I still need to. I haven't,
It's so short.
but I need to. When I got it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play this, but then I was like, I don't want to play an open world game, and now I'm playing Zelda.
What?
But
yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. You get sucked right into Zelda.
It's not in the mood for it at the moment. But I will go back to it. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's good, and I like it. I like Miles Morales. I like what they're doing with, like, kind of the segue in between for the second one to kind of, because
I'm not
I
saying
haven't
it's
watched like a
bad
lot of stuff in the
game.
trailers and everything.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's a great game, but the thing is, I don't think it's going to be. I think it will be nominated because I think the Game Awards use like a combination of journalists, game journalists, and gamers to build up their nominee list. But I don't think it's going to win. I don't think Final Fantasy 16 honestly is going to win either at this point. Having played probably about half the game so far, Tears of the Kingdom kind of might have it in the bag, to be honest.
Man.
It's going to be up there. It's going to be like one of the main contenders. Definitely.
Honestly, Tears of the Kingdom, I know it's a good game, but I feel like it's overrated.
I mean, a lot of people feel about the way about Breath of the Wild too, as well. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah. And not only that, like this, I think Tears of the Kingdom, if anything, might have the same problem that like Spider-Man has. It's a sequel to something that's already was established, and Breath of the Wild already won Game of the Year in 2017. I think that's the only thing that it probably has going against it in terms of getting that Game of the Year, award. But essentially, I think that Starfield is going to be the thing that people shouldn't sleep on. I think Starfield, if it comes out not a bug-ridden mess, not a disaster, and actually comes out and is a fucking if it doesn't live up to the trope and actually is released in a really good state, or at least a very stable state, I think it has the chance of blowing everything out of the water and possibly could snag Game of the Year. Because it's coming out in 2 months.
Yeah, it definitely should have that potential.
About exactly 2 months.
Yeah, so I mean, it should definitely have that potential for that. Yeah. But I mean, with their track record, for me personally, I don't like Bethesda as a developer. I don't really like Bethesda games. I like, I play Doom and stuff, but that's published by them. It's not made by them.
Yeah, it's old.
That's id Software.
It's id Software.
Different developer. And also I like Hi-Fi Rush too.
But then they said they had id Software. They had id Software, and they had another. Did you watch the Starfield Direct?
I did not.
I didn't, because I just don't care.
Yeah, well, if you did watch it, basically what they were saying was they had id Software, and they had trying to think the other company that did a really good game. They had had them help develop like the AI and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like I think they're trying to break out of that mold, that shell, that's just a flat out Bethesda developed game. That they took constructive criticism and they. They basically they're bringing in some other really, really good talent from other teams that were able to really kind of accelerate. I know they have to be conscious of the disaster that was Cyberpunk 2077. And
their own Fallout 76, man.
Yeah, I mean, that was a disaster. That was a disaster. That was an unmitigated disaster. But I think that they've kind of moved on from that too. I think that they kind of just
out NPCs. Come on, man.
That game.
I don't rage a lot, but I remember I played Fallout 76 and my eye literally twitched. Like, it literally twitched. I was like, oh my god. It was kind of
released in an unplayable state, but I think the game... The game now, I think, is a lot more playable, but at this point, when the game already got so much negative press from that, from it being released in such a bad state, like, I mean, it's same thing with Cyberpunk 27. The game is way more playable now, but, the damage is already done, so people don't give a shit anymore. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. So they know with Starfield, you gotta release. It matters that first 24 hours that people fucking play that game, buy that game, put that game in their system, or they download it from whatever store that they have on their PC, that game's got to fucking run, and it's got to run
I
good.
think
it's
it's going to be on Xbox Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, what the hell? Okay, I was a little bit surprised by that. But
that's because Microsoft is trying to buy all the game studios, and I think they're also trying to make Game Pass like the next Netflix of gaming.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Because it kind of prices on Game Pass increasing as well.
And that's the thing.
I think
they are increasing the price.
Are they? Oh, that sucks.
They already increased it in outside regions outside the U.S. But okay. I think the rest of the world right now is like subsidizing Americans for Game Pass, but they will eventually increase the prices on Americans as well.
Well,
so.
I go other routes and not pay the full price anyway, so I'll just continue to do that.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna, I'm gonna buy the game day one anyway. I'll pay the full price. I'm gonna give it a shot. I think that this game is gonna be really good.
Oh, I was talking about Game Pass, not necessarily Starfield.
Yeah. Game Pass. I don't have Game Pass myself, but to me, it's like I already have too many games that I need to play that I can't play or I haven't had the chance to play. So having more games in front of me and just go crazy.
Right. No, what I was just saying is, not saying anything indirect. There are ways to get Game Pass cheaper, so that's what I'll probably continue to do if they increase the price.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah.
But as for Starfield, I hope it's a good game. I want it to be a good game so they can be a good developer and promise on something. But if it's in. Now, here's the other scary thing for a lot of people is, even if it is in a stable condition, if it works and it looks so good and it's so pretty, but if it's just Fallout in space, then I don't know if it will do too well.
If you saw the direct and stuff, I think that the game is going to have a lot more depth. I think people are saying like, oh, it might be Fallout in space, but I think it's going to be more like Elder Scrolls.
That's everyone's fear.
Because it's because you're essentially if that at the end of that trailer, because it's all like guns and it looks like it's all like futuristic, and then at the end the guy looks like he's using the Force, so all of a sudden there's definitely something else to it now where there might be some type of magic or fantasy style element that's going to be incorporated into the game, which I think is a really cool thing. They did say only I think less than 20 planets are actually going to have life on it or whatever in the game, which is kind of disappointing. But you'll be able to go to a bunch of other planets that are going to be that you'll be able to explore, but they necessarily won't have like intelligent life and stuff like that. But I'm super excited for it either way.
They went the oh my god, I can't think of game. Mass Effect. They went the Mass Effect route. First Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So I'm excited for it.
It's a lot more than the Mass Effect 1 when it comes to inhabited planets. But yeah, that's basically what they did. There were some inhabitable planets, but everything else you could go and explore and get resources and everything. But there was nothing.
I think that's you're going to be able to explore a lot of planets, get resources. I think a lot of it too is going to be. I like the fact that you can kind of choose whether you want to be a good guy or a bad guy. I love that kind of dichotomy, that kind of juxtaposition in a game where you can be evil, because I always like to be evil in games.
I always pick villain as well.
If a game ever gives me an opportunity to be evil, I'm going the evil route, because it's such a rare thing,
I'm a good boy.
Yeah, I'm too much of a good boy. I'm gonna be a bad boy. Then I'm like, I feel bad about doing this thing that doesn't even really exist.
Weird.
I'm gonna be a good boy. Exactly. I can't go against my morals. Apparently,
GTA definitely ruined me in terms of trying to do the right thing and be more moral in video games.
Funny.
So
that game is all about anarchy anyway. So. It's easy to do something like that.
You could be like a good criminal and not cause mayhem on the streets, or you could just go rage and go complete chaos. So, but I want to be a space pirate. If I could be a space pirate,
the thing with GTA is that what was I going to say?
What was it about GTA?
The thing with GTA is that when you're being if you're behave bad, you get rewarded, but if you're good, you're not rewarded. That's why you go more towards that.
Oh, I
being
mean,
criminal.
yeah, the game the central point of the game is that you are a criminal. so yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, that the moral compass there is really kind of in one direction, but you can be as good of a criminal as you want to be in that game, like lay low, not cause a lot of problems, but that's just how it is. But in Starfield, they're saying like you could literally become a fucking space pirate and like have like an entire like trade system and steal other ships. You could basically raid other people's ships and then steal their ships and make it part of your ship, or sell their ships, or have your own kind of like space trade, nefarious space trade. So that kind of shit to me is really, really enticing, and I think
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun to me. So
that's the game. I hope that's the game.
That's my hope. That's the thing. Like I said, I'm not going to sleep on it though, because I'm not going to go on the hate train where it's like, well, it's a Bethesda game. It's going to be a bug-ridden mess. It's going to be shit. It's going to, it's going to.
Yeah.
I think that they took the time. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think they took the time. Mm-hmm. They delayed the game multiple times. The game should have been out over, I think, almost a year ago at this point. So I think that they definitely try. They're trying to make sure that they're not going to be a laughing stock when this game comes out.
Right. Well, that's good. I hope they're not. But as for
we want these game developers to do the right thing. Like Blizzard did the right thing with Diablo 4. They did the right thing. They fucking released a game that was very good. I mean, yes, there was, of course, there's some drawbacks, like always online shit, people losing characters because servers were fucking they shit the bed. But the game in of itself, the mechanics of the game, it's fun, it's addicting, it's it's a day one play. It doesn't have the gacha mechanics, it doesn't have the the mobile shit, the pay to win stuff in there, and that's what we really want as gamers. I mean, as I feel like the majority of gamers want that. I know that there's a huge market for these mobile gamers that love fucking playing these mobile games, which blows my mind. I don't know how people like playing games like that, but
I don't get it. But I mean, to be the majority of that, it's like kids and like old people.
Yeah, it's definitely the boomers are definitely the boomers that were never gamers to begin with. They really fucked things up when it came to that, because playing all these mobile games, and the mobile game market is I think the market size for mobile games is probably like triple that, for like
30%.
It's crazy, especially like in China and stuff, where they just make absolutely
in
mind-boggling amounts of money.
There's always
mobile games
game every day.
It was the cause of like the resurgence of like PUBG. So like I remember like that was like my first like battle royale, like in essence, right? And I played it on Xbox, and it was
H1Z1.
No, it was gross on Xbox. But it died down like after Fortnite came out, and then a few years later, because it got turned, like they put a lot of money into like the mobile part of it. In India, just everyone was just playing it, and then it became Game of the Year again, and it was just like it was wild.
Yeah,
it was
they
wild.
also made it free to play, which helped it a lot too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the free to play thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against making games more accessible for people, but like, and I've seen.
There's
I actually follow
way
this guy on Twitch. His name is Eddie. He's actually in our Discord, and his whole shtick is playing Fortnite on fucking mobile, and he's a fucking beast.
Okay.
But like, he literally is playing on a fucking mobile device, and it's crazy. But like, but that's different than a lot of the other mobile games out there that are just. But I'm all for like making games accessible to people. That's great, expand accessibility. Yeah. But there's a lot of bad actors and bad, just shitty developers. I mean, how many times do you guys see ads on like any internet platform where it's a shitty mobile game and the ads are just flat out fucking lies, or they're just like horrible, like they're like really bad, like what was those zombie game survival games where they like have like they smack survival. The girl's butt and stuff, and then they're running and, like, and that's like nothing what the game even looks like. It's like all a fucking lie. Like, yeah, like that kind of shit needs to stop.
Or everyone's favorite raid, Shadow Legends.
Oh, Raid Shadow Legends.
Get Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah,
they paid me a lot of money to say Raid Shadow Legend.
To be honest, I see more I see more YouTube sponsorships from Raid Shadow Legends than actual ads about Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
They
But,
definitely.
I mean,
they
it's
definitely
obviously
had a lot of
working for them
influencers.
somehow.
Yeah, they hired a lot of influencers to shill that game for sure.
And then
But
wonder,
yeah.
like these YouTubers, like they have this sponsorship from Raid Shadow Legends, and I'm actually wondering how much time do they play the game? Because they say they play the game and they love it and they have these cool characters and whatever.
Oh,
It's completely
they are given like
accounts,
depending
right?
on well, sometimes it's also it depends on like what the sponsor wants you to do. They'll a lot of times give you a script and you follow that script and they say stuff, and because you can go and like to different people who have like a Raid Shadow Legends like ad, they'll all say the exact same thing verbatim.
Oh yeah, they definitely have a script, and that's par for the course when you get in sponsorships and shit.
Yeah.
That's one of the
that's part of it.
I that's why like I've had a lot of sponsorship offers like for my streaming, but I don't feel comfortable shilling products, especially if I don't really actually care or like the product. Like if HyperX sent me an email today and like, listen, if we'll send you a free headset. And just say that
you would lose your mind.
I would fucking be like, absolutely. You know what? I will say, I sleep with my HyperX headset on, blah blah blah, because I love their products. Like I actually, I believe in the product, and I want to actually tell people that product's a good product. But like any kind of mobile app, I wouldn't take a payday because I don't support the product. I don't think it's good, and I wouldn't want to shill it. So. Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
That's the thing if you actually are getting like sponsorship offers, if there's like you're getting more than one, and obviously it's something that you don't care about anyway or don't believe in, obviously don't take it. But yeah, I mean, once you get more options or more of those sponsorship deals or offers, you can pick and choose what you want to do.
The only way I'm gonna take any sponsorship is if it's a product I've used, I like, or I would recommend to my own friends and family, not just, they're going to give me this much money and I got to pretend that I like this shit when I fucking have no idea, or I'm just reading a script and I never played it. Exactly. So, yeah, that's why people are like, oh, well, why don't you have like, this sponsor? Because like I've seen certain that a lot of people have a lot of these, a few sponsorships in the very small streamer space out there, where people are like, oh, well, you're not, why don't you, they're good, they're a sponsor. I'm like, I would never buy their product. I would never use their product. So I would never advertise their product on my streams, period. I just wouldn't do it. Like I just don't believe in shilling for something that I don't want to use or haven't used or have no idea about. So that I just wouldn't do it.
Right.
Like if HyperX or if frickin' Elgato ever said like, listen, we'll give you a free Stream Deck or Stream Deck Plus, or we'll give you a headset. You just got to, plug in. I would be like, I'll do more than plug in. I'll freaking do jumping jacks. I'll go to the mountaintops and tell the world, and I would do it for a lot less. I would do it for just a free headset or a free product over, getting a payday. So,
well, a lot of times they'll give you free stuff and pay you.
That's, I mean, hey, that would just be a bonus. But at the same time, like, shit, if I know a couple of streamers that like, they basically shill like Elgato products and HyperX products. Essentially, like their whole channel becomes, they revolves around it. Like I wouldn't want that, but shit, like if I was getting free products for sponsorships, I would definitely put a HyperX logo on my stream or give them a 2-minute, ad spot or something like that without a doubt, because I love their products. I use their products myself, and I would highly recommend their products to pretty much anyone that was trying to get their own streaming channel set up or anything like that. So,
right.
But where it comes to like some of these energy drinks, these game drinks that people are shilling, and like I'm like, do you even drink it? Like, have you? They tried it once and they never tried it again. They're like, yeah, well, I every time someone uses my link, I get 10%. I'm like, okay, well, I can't sell my soul for like that for that. I'm just not gonna shill for anyone unless I actually care about the product, period.
I actually once got approached by an energy drink sponsorship a while ago. I didn't take it because I didn't consume the product and I didn't want to promote.
That's how I feel too. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable promoting something that I don't consume.
Exactly. That's my exact same sentiment. It's like my whole sentiment is basically if I don't like the product or I haven't used the product, I can't tell other people that they should use the product.
Yeah.
Right.
My dream sponsorship is probably Pizza Hut. I was raised on Pizza Hut.
Man,
this body
you
was
just
built by
brought me
Pizza Hut.
back between the pizza nuggets commercial and fucking remembering like actually going to Pizza Hut as a kid and actually sitting in the restaurant with the red cups. Oh, Pizza Hut
The
used
red
to be the
booths.
shit. The red booths,
And because
the
it's
tables,
getting,
and the
like-
salad
like late-
bar.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, you had your smoke section, but it still smelled like cigarettes, and there's still smoke everywhere. 'cause
Oh
you're indoors.
man, the smoking sections, dude.
I think I'll order some pizza.
Not in my current apartment, but my apartment, like when I first moved out, it was so broken. But I would get delivered free Pizza Hut like once a week.
Word.
Okay.
So like it was really heartbreaking for me to move out of that apartment. But for 2
Aw.
years, I got free Pizza Hut for a week.
That would be awesome. Like that's
Hell
part of the
yeah.
lease. You
I
just get
never
free
got tired of
pizza,
it.
free pizza for the whole life of the lease. That'd be awesome. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
Pizza Hut restaurants where I live are all closed at this point. There's no actual Pizza Hut
Aw.
restaurant where you can go and sit down and play Pac-Man in the little vestibule area and have the like it's all like those. They're basically like Domino's chains now where you go there and you basically there's nowhere to sit down. You go in there, you get your pizza, and you leave.
Oh, yeah. That's like most pizza places in America now, I think. It's like a local place. Like, I've only eaten at like local places for pizza now.
Oh yeah,
Same.
well I live in New York, so I have access to the best pizza in the world. But I do remember Pizza Hut wasn't so much about how awesome the pizza was; it was really the experience of Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it's a family environment place, so it was a family restaurant.
It was so dimly lit in there, like you couldn't see the floor.
Right.
Like, it was like dark and dingy, but all the lighting was over like the salad bar, and you had that one light over the table and just gave you enough ambient light for the table so you could see how good the pizza was. It was always hot when it came out.
And every light had like some weird stained glass.
Yes,
like,
it had the stained glass,
where it's chill.
which refracted the light. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to put a
Couch.
picture up of the. We got to put a picture up of the old Pizza Hut. Hold on, Pizza Hut restaurant inside. Let's see if I can find an image that Sugar can put up, because that shit was just 80s. Well, this is a picture
80s,
of it.
early 90s.
This is a picture of it with like in the daytime. Copy image address.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just put that image up. That's just like that with the fake brick walls and all the pictures on the walls and stuff. And yeah, they have the little chandelier lamp that hangs, and it hanged on like the chain, which was like the old like if you lived in a house in like the 80s or the 70s, all the chandeliers and like lamps that came off the ceiling had that like really grimy looking chain. So yeah, that was, and the red cups, man. The red cups were a staple.
Yeah, red cups, red Coca-Cola cups.
Yep, it was great. Good times, good times. Yeah, I don't think Domino's ever had like an eat-in area, right? Domino's was always just like call.
No. Yeah.
Call an order and
same for
get your
like
pizza.
Yep, same for like Little Caesars.
It was
and
always
same for,
like Pizza Hut versus
John.
Domino's versus like Little Caesars, and it's just kind of like
Little
it
Caesars.
just has
Oh my
a
god.
better crust and better sauce. I just felt like Domino's
Yes.
sauce was just
Domino's
no.
sauce always was ass. They actually recently changed their sauce to be somewhat okay.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
their
Yeah, they
sauce
changed a
always
lot of the
sucked.
formulas or recipes, but
Mhm.
Domino's still isn't really that great.
Yeah, Domino's is definitely probably like C tier, maybe D tier in terms of.
Yeah,
We're
it's,
gonna have to
it's
eventually
definitely
make
on
it.
the top for me when it comes to like
Yeah,
pizza.
Domino's.
I'll get Little
yeah.
Caesars before I get Domino's.
See, the problem is where I am. The only place I was able to get Little Caesars like growing up was in Kmart. because Kmart actually used to have.
Oh yeah, a lot of them had Little Caesars in there.
Oh, what
Yeah,
the hell? I
yeah,
never knew that.
yeah. Kmart had its little cafeteria. And it was always Little Caesars in there. They never actually, for whatever reason, where I live in New York, they never had any like Little Caesar actual chain locations open. So,
Dude, you're in New York. They're not going to survive there. No one's going to let you get pizza.
Right.
well,
Exactly.
Domino's and Pizza Hut were crazy in New York. You know, Domino's is still very, very prevalent. Yeah, yeah. Pizza Hut,
surprising
the
to me.
restaurant,
Yeah.
the actual restaurants themselves closed, but like you still have those little like satellite locations that basically are like, you know, Domino's where you just go pick up your pizza. So they're still there, but no, like you cannot get Little Caesars where I am in New York at all. You cannot find it. You'd have to drive out of state to get it. So,
Do you guys want to hear something sketchy?
sure.
Hey,
Bring
my
on the
friend
sketch.
Sean, he has been lactose intolerant like his entire life. It's so bad, right? Little Caesars is the only pizza he can eat.
Oh, yeah, that's a little sus.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
sus.
weird, right?
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I haven't had Little Caesars in probably over a decade, so I wouldn't even be able to like give a scientific analysis as to why that could even possibly be. But
I had
yeah.
the crazy bread like 2 weeks ago. But that's-
I've actually, as I gotten older, I used to love dairy. I grew up drinking like gallons of milk, but then like as I'm getting older, I'm becoming now, I think, lactose intolerant. Like I cannot handle. Cheese is still okay with me. Like cheese doesn't give me any issues, but milk, if I drink milk or if I drink too much milk or too much ice cream, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like it messes me up. So I don't know what happened. Like I used to be able to like I had zero, like I was nowhere close to lactose intolerant. Now I'm like starting to develop a tiny bit of intolerance to it for whatever reason. I have no idea why. I don't
Body
know.
changes. It happens. Allergies and stuff can develop as you get older.
Yeah, it's totally possible. I have no idea why it's happening, but cheese, completely immune. I can eat so much cheese.
We still have cheese.
Yeah.
Because cheese is one of the best things in the world, man. If I can eat cheese,
is
I'd be very
amazing.
sad.
And my dogs too. My dogs love cheese, and cheese is not a natural thing for dogs to like to eat. You know, dogs should not be.
Dogs eat,
dogs,
dogs eat anything.
but dogs should
Though
also
you really
be
lost up
lactose
with it.
intolerant, right? Because humans, the only reason why, like every mammal should not be able to consume the milk of another animal, essentially. And even humans, like any mammal, can only consume the milk of that animal up until a certain stage. But like humans, we're like, fuck it, cows, goats, whatever else we can, ferment this, and pasteurize this creature's milk.
Because it's being processed.
I mean, I guess, is that really why though?
Yeah,
Like I don't
because you
know.
I don't
It's
think
like
you're
there's like a big
supposed
craze
to-
for like people that drink raw milk now and stuff like that.
Are you supposed to do that though?
Raw
Like, are you
milk.
supposed to drink raw milk?
But that's the
Yeah,
thing.
he's
Like,
being unpasteurized.
yeah, unpasteurized milk is like a huge thing now, and like, people were drinking unpasteurized milk like prior to like the Industrial Revolution. Like we've been doing the reason why. Yeah, we've been consuming that shit and creating cheese for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, there's an island in like Sardinia in the Mediterranean that eat cheese with maggots on it because that's like how long, like that's a part of the cheese creation process. So, I mean, I don't know if modern technology is really the reason why like we can handle it as well. I don't know. I'm not sure I buy that 100%.
Well, I was gonna eat dinner soon, but that's fine.
Yeah, I have a block of Lustenberger cheese that I'm gonna have for tonight, so I'm good on that. Nothing's gonna bother me. Nothing's gonna stop me from having cheese. But yeah, I don't know. It's just that's weird that your friend is able to eat Little Caesars and not eat any other cheese.
Super weird.
Yeah, that's definitely a strange situation. I'm gonna have to look into that and see if other people have actually had that issue.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have? That's all. I mean, unless you want to talk about GTA roleplay, that's the only thing I had left. Anyone else have anything? Frenzy, you didn't bring up any topics. Do you have anything you want to bring up?
I don't know. Have you seen the Superman cartoon that just released?
No.
I just watched it earlier today.
No.
No, I've been weebing out and watching anime.
Oh yeah,
Watching
I see the
Chainsaw,
tweets about
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I finished Demon Slayer season 3. Thank God.
Oh
I
yeah,
need to
finally
get back
rest.
into it.
I stopped.
Yeah,
after
I've only
season
watched
1.
the first season and the first movie. I haven't watched the second season
Yeah,
yet.
season
so.
2 is a combination of the movie, which is the Mugen Train arc, and then they bring in
Oh, okay.
and then they do the
theater
they
arc.
combine
Or the live
the
action.
Entertainment District arc and the Mugen Train arc into season 2.
Here comes my hot take.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is
So we need to have like
boring.
movie nights.
Demon
and
Oh,
Slayer
no.
is
What I'm hearing.
I can say Demon Slayer is my favorite anime of all time at this point.
Really?
It's a really good one.
It's cool that it's
Yeah,
your
it
favorite,
is.
but I think it's boring.
That's
Oh.
crazy. It's like so
Yeah.
not boring to me.
I was bored. When I was watching it, I wasn't feeling anything.
Really? How many episodes did you watch?
Yeah, I watched the whole first season.
Wow.
The first
interesting.
season's crazy.
I
first
season's
season's
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, that opener? That opener?
Yes,
That's
I was
rough.
just gonna say, like,
Yeah, that
Oh,
show
no.
just throws you in the midst of
the
it.
opening song I did like, but I don't know. I didn't had any lasting
I
impressions.
still listen to
after
the
watching
freaking
that
opening theme in my
season.
car sometimes. Windows open, blasting the whole
just to get
freaking
hyped
song.
up for the day.
I
can
Right.
I would
imagine
suggest
you
I,
doing
I,
that.
even, I even watched the movie too.
Oh wow, okay. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
the Mugen
try to
Train
get
arc
it
is so sad, bro. Like, they did my boy
Yeah.
dirty.
My hot take is I didn't even care about what's his name dying too, like because he only appears like one time.
Well,
I-
he was
I-
seen a little bit before that, but
Like-
yeah, he was really the only time you saw him.
He
though, for the
was
most part.
only like in the last 2 episodes of the first season, and then the movie, and then he died. Like, am I supposed to care about this guy?
Well, you
I
don't get to
just
see
met?
any of the
I mean-
Hashira until the end of the first season.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
all
that's
the
what I mean.
Hashira that you see at the end of the first season, you get a very
No, yeah.
They're showing
superficial. Yeah, you don't really
That's my
understand
point.
anything about any of them, really.
It didn't develop. What's his name? Rengoku?
Yeah, Rengoku is the
they-
It didn't
the
develop
they-
enough for me to care that he died.
bro.
I
was
don't know.
torn
I
apart
feel
by
like
his
they-
death.
Yeah,
I
they-
wasn't.
that's interesting
That's
because
crazy.
they were very upfront about like how he is as a person and like the backstory
they
and how
did
shitty
that,
his
like,
dad
they-
is. And
they
stuff.
did
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
like
dad.
this-
His dad was a Hashira, is now an alcoholic and hates him and shit. And then like that whole cliffhanger, like what he had like his last words for him was like, "Oh, I hope you do well, Dad." And it just dad free, like basically like couldn't handle it. Like that shit was deep.
And it's
That
like,
shit was
yeah,
really
fuck
deep.
you. Yeah, it's pretty rough, man. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it was
shit was
really
really
sad.
Of course.
I did find it odd with like the other characters, Tanjiro and the gang, and they were really super upset. They only really knew him for like a day, but I guess they were just so like he had such a presence, and they were so admirable of him.
The anime didn't convey some of the stuff that the manga like explained better, where like because they were part of the the Demon Slayer Corps, and they had that common bond of being a part. Because a lot of them, they're
of
kind of
course.
like a motley crew band of characters, like Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro. They come from completely different fucking backgrounds, and they, for them to even be friends, it's kind of a strange thing. It's kind of like a strange get together of them. But like when they finally got together with Rengoku, they connected and they bonded almost instantly. It was like that. It was like an instant bond with all of them. So, but I don't know, man. I felt like Rengoku was probably one of the best characters in the show that we got completely robbed of, essentially, because he just
I was
sacrificed.
I was sad that I was like, man, okay, because he grows on you in that short amount of time,
Tasty!
No, he
and then you
didn't.
take him away.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt. I felt robbed. I definitely felt robbed.
He just showed up just to die.
Well, I mean, some characters are just like that, just to show you like nobody's safe.
Right.
You ever seen Game of Thrones?
No,
Right. Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
I
And
never
it
saw
made me
Game of
really
Thrones.
worried for the next
well-
Hashira that we saw in the entertainment arc
Right.
when we had Tengen and his 3 hot ninja wives. But I'm like,
Yeah.
they're totally gonna kill Tengen. Like he's a goner, and because especially after coming off of Rengoku, you get to Tengen's arc and you're like, oh, this guy is definitely cannon fodder. He's definitely a throwaway. And it once again, it subverts your expectations and you're like, oh, okay, that didn't end the way I thought it was going to end. And that was a crazy Kizuki battle too between the twins. Were the twins or brother and sister? I forget.
They were like conjoined. That was all real. It was good. I still need to watch season 3. I only watched the first episode.
Yeah, season 3 is definitely interesting, but that's when they bring what's her name, Mitsuki, forget her last name, but she's the Love Hashira. They had the Love Hashira and the Miss Hashira in that one, and that. Yeah. I think season 3 is probably the weakest of all of the seasons, but it was still really good. Okay. I think it was the weakest in the sense that I don't want to spoil it because you guys didn't see it, but like you'll when you see it, you'll understand a little bit. Yeah, you'll understand when you see it a little bit. Like some people complained about like the animation, like they used too much CGI. I don't think that was the problem that I had with the season, but I wouldn't say it's a bad season by any stretch of the imagination. I just would say out of coming off of season 1 and season 2 and watching everything, binge watching it from season 1 all the way up to season 3, I just felt like it kind of. I want to see season 4. Because I think I think it was kind of like a little bit of a low point in the story. Not as much investment in the characters as before.
Yeah, I feel that way with like Rising of the Shield Hero the second season because like the first season is so good. I've watched that first season.
That's what I'm worried about Chainsaw Man too.
Boring.
Season 2 is lame. It is weak.
I tried to watch it. But I was falling asleep because
it has some good moments in it, but like the very first thing it starts off with is like meh. But the whole thing was just to let you know, like, oh hey, you can go to other worlds and other people can go to your worlds.
How long is the second season?
The second season actually wasn't that long. It was like
I think episodes. That's the problem because I think they cut off like stuff from the manga because I did read the manga and there was Then when I was watching it, they the way they left it on the first season. I don't think that happened in the manga.
Oh, did it not? Okay.
I don't think it did.
You guys,
I could be wrong.
So sorry, but I have to go.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah. We should probably wrap this up anyway.
Yeah, we're wrapping up soon anyway.
ARP event coming up tonight, and I have to get ready for it and everything. So yeah, thank you guys. This was lovely. I hope you back on another one.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Of course. Bye.
Bye. But yeah, like that. I don't know. I feel the same way with like Chainsaw Man right now. Like the first season's so good, and I'm like, if I get too invested in this, is it gonna?
Demon Slayer is boring.
Demon Slayer. I'm just absolutely in love with that show and the manga itself. And you know what I love about and now that I know it, Demon Slayer is not gonna be milked to shit. Like that manga has been over since 2020.
Yeah.
So it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's got a story it's telling, and that's it. And they're not gonna. It's not a forever anime like a lot of the other animes and mangas and stuff that they put out there. This is gonna be a story that's gonna be told, and that's it. It's gonna be over, which I think is really fucking cool because there's not a lot of animes I could say that has that kind of thing to it.
Well, that's more of a trend now. Like they're going in seasons, and not everything's trying to be a forever anime anymore, which is good.
Yeah, well, Dragon Ball Z was a forever anime that then died, and they ended it, and then they're like, no, we'll bring it back.
Well, as I was saying, but ironically, I want more Dragon Ball Super. God damn it, Toei, bastards!
The manga is still going.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing that's making me mad because they're not doing any more of the anime, and I watch it in Japanese.
Toriyama's not even doing it really anymore, so it's like it's really
he's still heavily involved.
He's heavily involved, but it's not like his story anymore. Like I don't know, I feel like it's kind of lost its soul.
But I like Super, but I want them to keep doing the anime because the woman that does the whole fucking like family tree of Goku. She's old, man. She's only gonna be around for so much longer. Let them finish out what they want to do, please. Please. I don't want her to be replaced because she's like 10 characters. mean, it's almost the same voice for all of them. It's pretty much the same voice for all of them, but still, she's the Goku family.
Exactly.
They are probably afraid of starting the 5 years Dragon Ball, the new 5 years Dragon Ball series, and maybe the voice actress passes away, and they are afraid of like having to find a replacement.
Yeah. That's always going to be a problem when you have voice actors, you know. So, but yeah, it's just. I don't know, man. I think that I still have to watch My Hero Academia. I read like the first couple of volumes of the manga for that.
Stick to the manga.
That finally got good.
I'm just saying, stick to the manga.
I've been seeing people on Twitter saying like season 6 that they're up to now or something like that. They're like, oh, it's fucking really amazing now. Yeah.
Stuff finally happened.
Yeah, like
blame again.
It was a late bloomer. That anime was a late bloomer, from what I'm understanding.
Oh, like
what, My Hero?
Yeah, it starts off pretty good.
What do you mean with late bloomer?
Meaning that
it has a very bad section.
Yeah, it took a while to get good. It took it started off kind of slow, and now everyone's saying season 6 is amazing. I don't know what's going on in it.
That's the thing. So it didn't start off bad. It starts off on a very good note. The first 2 seasons are pretty good. Then the 3rd season is like, eh. Then the 4th season is like, then 5th's like,
right. A big dip and another big build up.
Is like, holy shit!
That's what I've been.
Everything that they've been cultivating up to finally happens, and it's not slow. It's not a slow burn anymore. It's quick succession. It's like stuff happens, people die. Get used to it.
Yeah, that is exciting. So I am gonna invest time into it and watch it. But 6 seasons is a lot, you know. And
it is a lot, but they're short compared to a lot of other stuff. Like they're like 20 episodes max per season. So
yeah, that's the good thing. If they got short seasons, I can kind of invest into it and be able to binge it. You know.
Well, every season is like, except besides the first one, I think every season is like 20-something episodes.
Yeah.
The first season is how many episodes?
The first season is, I believe, 13, and after that, I think every season has been like 20-something.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a pretty meaty season then. Well, I mean,
I think they were testing the waters with the first season, and when they see how much
how well it did,
how well it performed,
how well it did, they said, "Oh, let's pump all the episodes we can."
Yep, and then they did, and now it's it. And the next season 7, that's gonna be the final season of My Hero.
Oh, that story is gonna end too.
It has an ending.
Yeah, so that's good because I'm gonna invest. I'm invest as soon as I'm done with Chainsaw Man. I'm going right into My Hero Academia. I'm gonna just binge watch the entire show.
Wait, My Hero Academia manga has already ended, or?
I don't know if it has ended, but from my understanding, like season 7 is like gonna
probably
be
did.
End.
Oh, maybe they're just taking a break from My Hero.
Maybe I don't know. I don't keep up the manga. I just from what it looks like season 7's like gonna be the end of the story. So
that's a little bit sus.
I don't know. I mean, that's how I feel about it anyway. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it feels like, and it would make sense to me because, like, I mean, just like from the from the intro of the show, every single opening it builds up to what is kind of happening now. So the end of it is going to be what he says at the beginning of every single episode. So
yeah, I have to look into that now because I'm kind of liking this whole where treating these animes and these mangas as like not an endless milking of the story where, you know, it's just a never-ending commercial slop, and you're actually telling a story like a movie, and it's just a longer drawn-out process, and you actually get the even like a book series, like the Harry Potter books or the Game of Thrones books or the Song of Ice and Fire, where you're getting a beginning, a middle, and an end. You're getting characters that you can invest in and care, give a shit about, and then it either has a good payoff or it doesn't. That's what I really like, and that's why I like Demon Slayer so much, because like I felt like I'm like, they can't make this thing go on forever. And this is before I knew that the manga ended, and then I found out like, oh well, there's only like 23 volumes of the manga, and that's it. And that's the fucking end of the story, and there's no more after that. And I'm like, that's actually really fucking cool. Like, I really like that. So that just made me like, get more. And that's why, like, I'm way more upset about like Rengoku and stuff like that, because it's like, it's like this is it. It's in this finite space, and
yep, that was him. He was there for that was it. That was he served his purpose apparently.
He was it wasn't like just some bullshit. Like he served a very, very good piece of the story to tell that part of the story, to get Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu to that next level that they needed to be to excel and make their characters better and grow their character development. So it was good. I really liked that. But if My Hero Academia is like that too, let's go. I'm definitely gonna be down for that.
There is an anime that I haven't looked up about for a while, but I'm worried about it. Is Jujutsu Kaisen? It had a season, it had a movie, and then it's supposed to have a second season. I haven't heard shit about it, but apparently, like after the movie, like the director for Jujutsu Kaisen just left. They're gone.
Really?
So they're working on the second season.
They're still working on it.
No, they're working. Yeah, they released the opening of the second season.
Oh, good! Finally, that's long. That's like 5 years. It's probably not that long. It was like 3. But still.
Well, you had the pandemic, which fucked up so much shit.
True.
But, like even
but
like
if you haven't checked out Jujutsu Kaisen though, that is real good. It actually subverts a lot of stuff.
The first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen aired in 2020.
Well, there you go.
Like
when in 2020? Because 2020 was a fucking crazy year.
October 2020.
Okay. I think so production was probably like 2019 into the pandemic. So yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, but I hope it comes like I hope it keeps like the same feel, because apparently the director was doing a lot of stuff that I really liked, because like again that's been one of those animes where it had really good build up, and again like a lot of the characters that you think are just gonna be backseat characters.
You've only seen the anime?
Yeah, I haven't read the manga or anything. I'm weird. I know a lot of people like read manga and then watch anime, or vice versa.
I don't really. I saw Jujutsu Kaisen the anime, and then I jumped into the manga, and I'll just say that if what they're adapting next is what I think it is, it's gonna be insane.
I mean, it's already gotten there. I still haven't watched the movie yet. I don't know if the movie ties into the actual plot.
The movie is like a prequel.
Okay, gotcha. But either way, Jujutsu Kaisen is real good.
Where are you watching that? Are you watching that? What platform are you watching that on?
I watched it on Crunchyroll.
Okay, it's on Crunchyroll. Perfect. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. Because not only this is one thing that I love about whenever shows that are good, just like for their story and stuff, and if they have like good action, but if the animation and like the direction and the editing of all of that gets better as they go, oh my god, it's like it's like I love it.
Absolutely.
That's what happens. That's what happens in this show. Like it just like all of that just like it just gets better and better and better. Like the very last episode is edited so tightly. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, that's the best. That's really the best. You really feel tied into it. Feel so heavily invested. Good payoff.
And also,
like it.
Yeah, and this has also been like more of a thing with anime. Like, I love it whenever they actually have to like cut down on the actual like quality of the animation a little bit, just so they can increase the frames for what they're trying to do for their fight.
Right.
It's such a good. Yeah, and it's weird because like anime. I don't know if anyone knows. Anime is 16 frames per second versus the 24 that most everyone.
Oh, really? I did not know that. I thought it was at 24.
Yeah. That's why it looks a little different in a lot of different, in so many ways, and it might be a little off. It's in 16 frames instead of the 24. It's not most really noticeable to a lot of people, but it's totally there. But whenever they want to like ramp up
though,
action
when you
and
think
stuff,
about it, I never really actually thought about it, but that makes a lot of sense, and it kind of now just like playing back, just thinking, visualizing a lot of different animes in my head, I can totally see the frames being less. So yeah, that's kind of crazy, but it totally makes sense when you think about it. But it's nothing that ever crossed my mind before.
Yeah,
or that I ever looked into. That's a good tidbit of knowledge to know.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I love it whenever. So if you ever like watch an anime and if like the quality gets kind of like a little bit more scratchier, or if like the quality goes down some, but it still looks good, they're toning that down so they can increase the frames to make it more impactful for like the speed and everything.
Right. Yeah, well, that's interesting. I didn't know that at all, but that's really cool. But
you can go back and watch like so many like more modern anime that they've done that. Like again, so like everyone, Naruto.
I definitely can notice it on a lot of older anime for sure.
So one that you can definitely notice it about is like the Naruto. Everybody watched Naruto and all that.
Yeah, Naruto, staple.
So the big Sasuke Naruto battle before Sasuke runs off, it goes up to Omochiro. Or I can't ever say that guy's name. The snake guy.
It's like Muzan Kibutsuchi from Demon Slayer.
Right, but yeah. So like that in that fight that they did where they're all in the water and everything. Like again, you can see the animation taking a little bit of a hit, but you can see the what they're getting from that in the frames, and it makes it it's so much more impactful the way they're doing it. Watch out for that. It's something to watch for.
Now it's gonna be in the back of my mind every time now I watch it, I'm gonna have that in mind.
Anytime I see that happen, I'm like, oh, that's so cool! Thank you for making this awesome.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm definitely gonna have that in the back of my mind now every time I watch an anime. So, but yeah, that kind of reminds me too, like the animation in season 3 of Demon Slayer is very, very interesting, and I have to maybe look back at. Yeah, I have to look back at it now because like that was some of the stuff like the fight. I think that was kind of like the highlights. People were saying like, oh, there's too much CGI, but like the fighting in season 3 was so good. Like it's just some of the battles and stuff. UFO table, the ones that does Demon Slayer. Yeah. They're superhuman or something.
They're like the only people who figured out how to incorporate CG with anime and make it look good.
And it looks especially I think in the first 2 seasons when they incorporated CGI, it was almost seamless. Like you couldn't tell. It was so good. And I think that was the problem that some people had with season 3 is like you could tell now that there's CGI in there because they used it for a little bit more than just like the environment. Because like you see like waterfalls and different textures in the environment that were like CGI and it was like super seamless. I mean, if you really, really paid attention, be like, okay, that's definitely CGI. But like in season 3, they're using CGI for like characters and like and magic effects and stuff like that. So I think that's the thing that some people took a gripe with, but it didn't bother me at all. I thought it was pretty inventive. I think the UFO table, whatever they're called, they're like a superhuman studio when it comes to the shit that they can put out and how quickly they can put it out as well. Like they're pumping out these seasons so fucking fast, and the quality of the animation is so top tier. Like that alone just makes Demon Slayer so fucking amazing. And then on top of it, you have the depth, the lore, the story. You could even though they're telling one tiny little epic story of the Taisho era Demon Slayer core, and it goes back thousands of years or whatever, they're just telling this one tiny little... They'll eventually probably, tell some prequels and shit like that, but this story that's being told is such a nice snapshot. It's just such a perfect little snapshot. And that's why I think it's such a beautiful, both in animation and in storytelling. So... I don't know how Frenzy could think that shit was boring, but I was captivated, dude.
It's not about the animation or anything. I think it's
a combination of both for me.
I wasn't invested in the characters.
I get that. I was just to give it another try at some point.
For example,
when you're ready for it.
What's the sister's name? Nezuko.
Nezuko,
yeah. I didn't like her character.
I do think that Nezuko is a little bit too tropey, and they kind of utilize her a little bit too much. But that is like a minor gripe that I have.
The thing that kills her character for me is that they like this thing where they hypnotize her so she doesn't attack humans.
No, she does that on her own.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
She
explain
willed
that-
herself to not feed on people.
Because
And- there's
the
a lot
beginning
more
of the
about
first-
her that you don't know yet too. If you didn't watch
Okay.
season 3, there's like a big reveal too about her.
Okay.
So,
because, like,
yeah.
I said, just
There, Nezuko
There's-
is
there's a lot
a
there.
special
She's
special thing.
special. She's
Yeah,
a special
she's-
demon.
She's not just like any regular demon for sure, you know, obviously. And I kind of got that from the gist. Like, they kept giving her a little bit extra shit that other demons couldn't do. And it's like, wait a second, you know, something's up here. You know, demons need to, you know, consume blood and human flesh to regenerate, but she could sleep it off. And she's kind of, well, obviously very different, but I won't go into detail, you know.
Yeah, so it's worth it. It's worth the watch. Again, I'd say just give it another try. Again, if anything's
and it's
good,
okay for
if
someone
you
not to like an anime. I mean, everyone has different likes and different tastes, you know. Some people think Infinity War was a shitty movie, you know.
wrong.
really long. But
Some
God, I never
people
wanted it to
think the Marvel
Thank
movies
God.
are absolute trash and superhero movies need to die. But, you know. What director
Some of
said
them
that?
are.
What the hell was that? It was one director. I think it was Martin Scorsese. I think he said
Maybe.
like,
I mean, I agree to that to a point, but also at this point, Marvel stuff isn't as good as it used to be.
oh,
and
of course,
and
yeah.
also they pumped out so much for so long and haven't given you a break. It's like you gotta stop. It's like it's what they wanted to do with Star Wars. They wanted it to be a
Yes.
yearly thing. No, you just let it be good. Let it take time, develop shit.
Or they should have just
Don't
went the
let
TV show route and told smaller stories like The Mandalorian and shit from the
What we're doing
beginning
now.
instead of doing the fucking the sequel trilogy, which was absolute dog shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
I don't know how anyone can stand behind the sequel trilogy and be like, "This is good Star Wars."
I mean-
Like, no, bro, no.
I still do like The Force Awakens. That is still a good movie.
But the Force, yeah,
I mean,
The
granted,
Force
it-
Awakens
Wait,
was not a
wait,
bad
wait,
movie.
wait.
It was not a
It's
bad
like-
movie. It was just a rehash of A New Hope. That's all.
Yes,
We're
I get
shitting.
that.
You are shitting the sequels, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
And
episodes.
you're shitting on the
yeah.
sequels, but you are saying that the prequels are good.
The
They're
prequels to Star
better.
Wars.
No, they're
Some
not.
aspects
Wait,
No,
wait,
they're
the
not.
prequels to Star Wars were considered not good, but in hindsight, after the sequel trilogy, I now have a newfound respect for the prequels.
No, they're not. They're not better than the sequels.
They are telling a better story than the
No,
sequel
they're
trilogy.
not.
In fact,
No,
the sequel trilogy
no.
doesn't even have a fucking story. What is the story to the sequel trilogy? There is no fucking story.
Can you explain
There
to me
literally
the
is
plot?
none.
that can do.
Can you
do-
explain to me
do
the
Force
plot
stuff.
of the first movie?
You know, Rey was set up
The
to
other
be
Of
something.
the prequels of episode 1. Can you
So,
explain to me?
so the Phantom Menace, its whole thing was, establishing Obi-Wan Kenobi in his younger years, and then finding an Anakin Skywalker who is Darth Vader. They don't know that at that time, obviously.
I'm not asking you to explain to me the whole trilogy. Can you explain to me the plot of chapter or of episode 1?
That is episode 1. I'm telling
It
you.
was establishing the war between the Republic. It was establishing the setup for the Clone War. It was the
Yeah.
pretext of the Clone War with the Trade Federation and
but
how
what
the
introduced
Senator
the
Palpatine
plot
of the
was
movie?
pulling strings
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
You don't
He was
you
a
don't
secret
know the
Sith.
plot.
That it was the plot was the pretext to the Clone War. That's what it was. Because in the New
Clone
Hope,
War was a very
the only-
boring movie.
Yeah, and then the Clone War was a very boring movie. But that was the whole point, was that in A New Hope, you get the only backstory you get to Obi-Wan, Anakin, and the Old Republic
from
was
what Obi-Wan
was the Clone
says.
War. And George Lucas had to explain what brought about the Clone War. And episode 1, it shows you all the things that it took for this giant war to happen, and how Palpatine was able to take over the Galactic Senate and all that other shit and consolidate power. And obviously, extinguish the Jedi Order. So it definitely makes sense from it's just a drawn out story. So it's not it's not as popcorn, consumerism story as like a regular flick. I could see that argument being made that it's boring, but and especially because Star Wars was marketed for kids. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, I still love. And but that's the thing, it went Star Wars from episodes 4, 5, and 6, very, very simplistic storytelling, to the prequels, which was very complex storytelling, and I think that's the big disconnect. When I saw it in 1999 in the movie theaters, The Phantom Menace, I had no fucking idea what was going on in that movie. The only thing I really remember that happened was the end fight where Qui-Gon got killed, and Darth Maul got, cut in half. I didn't understand any of the political shit that was going on and all the setup. I had no fucking clue. The only thing I remember is pod racing and the end fight. That's it. All the political stuff and setting up, Queen Amidala.
Yeah, because those movies are boring. They focus so much on political stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
And as a kid,
they're not perfect.
And you telling me that that the prequel movies are better than the sequels because of
the sequel trilogy, not meaning 4, 5, and 6, but meaning 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, 7, 8, and 9 make no fucking sense. 9.
So they make no fucking 7 sense. Is the most.
They're more enjoyable than the prequels.
But they make no fucking sense from a Star Wars lore perspective. Like they actually undo and fuck up a lot of things that were basically set in stone in the original trilogy and in the prequel trilogy. So it deviates fucking hard from the original concept of what Star Wars was supposed to be.
Yeah, and they do so much dumb shit, like
so much dumb shit.
Like the whole thing.
The prequels do dumb shit too. Don't try to.
But nothing as dumb as like. Yeah, but nothing as dumb as like the Holdo maneuver, where they fucking literally use fucking the hyperdrive to fucking go through a Star Destroyer. Like, it was always known, like, that's not how...
Oh, you're one of those people that complain about that? Oh, come on.
Because they explain how that shit works in the previous... And then, what's fucked up? In episode 9, they fucking go back and they say, oh, that was a 1 in a million move. So they actually retcon their own bullshit. They actually, in the next movie, they retcon it. Because they knew how fucking dumb it was. Because it went against all the expanded lore. It went against everything. Like, that was just not how how space travel works in Star Wars, and because they gave the director, they gave a director this movie to make who fucking wasn't even a Star Wars fan, didn't care about the source material or anything, and even fucked up the whole, they set up, Snoke, as like this fucking
they set up Snoke,
they fucking killed him,
and they killed them all.
And then
that was cool though.
And he was just a fucking clone.
I think they were setting up Kylo Ren to be the big bad, not Snoke.
But
Kylo Ren isn't the big bad. Kylo Ren gets redeemed in the end and fucking makes out with Rey. What?
You know what's the
problem? Yeah, that makes no sense.
You know what the problem was with episode 9?
It would have been so much better in George Lucas's original concept where they were brother and sister, and the brother turns evil and the sister turns good. That would have been so much better than them fucking kissing at the end and her getting all the Jedi powers from every dead Jedi. It was like, what the fuck?
I would agree that episode 9 is like the worst one. It's bad. But episode 7 and 8 are better than the prequels.
7 is a good movie, and comparable to prequels, is a good movie, and it's better than those. 8 and 9 are horrible. Unfortunately, 7 has to be a part of that trilogy, but it is.
Because
but again, I always defend
7 laid the groundwork for something okay to be set forth in future movies, but then you get fucking The Last Jedi and it just shits on everything, shits on Luke Skywalker, makes him a fucking complete asshole who fucking doesn't, who even freaking Mark Hamill was like, he's like, I don't even fucking recognize this character. I'm playing, Jake Skywalker. This isn't Luke. Like, he's fucking drinking fucking green milk out of a nipple of some kind of sea otter shit. He's, he's a complete bastard. He's an asshole. He tried to kill his nephew. Like, all kinds of weird shit that wouldn't even fit into that character. They just shat on him. They just completely just shit on the character. It was horrible. It was just I didn't even feel like I was watching Star Wars at that point. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Bad, just a
Kill
bad
him off,
movie.
and they kill him off, and then they make Rey like the best Jedi ever without any training ever.
Well, that too, but then they fucking the way they killed Luke off. So he used the Force too hard. That's how he dies.
Yep, and he used up all his life energy.
He used the Force too hard. What? Like, that's not even a thing either. Like, I don't think anyone could use the Force too hard that you die. Like, that's never been something that's been. I don't even think in expanded lore that you could just use the Force so hard that you just disappear. Like, what? Like, they could have if they were going to
all the midichlorians, son.
Because because even Obi-Wan didn't just use the Force and die. He got struck down by Darth Vader and he became one with the Force, which made a lot more fucking sense than I'm going to use my brain powers and make a hollow projection of myself or astral project myself to another planet, and then boom, after I'm done with that, I'm just gone. It's like, what?
Right.
It was so weird. It made no fucking sense. It really didn't make any sense at all. But and then on top of that, you gave the Last Jedi started off with the sexual tension, right, with Rey and Kylo with the what were they doing? What did they do? Weird. It was so cringe. But what were they did? They had like a thing where she was able to like it was like a Force bond or something like that where she was able to like see him. And
I
don't even understand it to this day. I don't even understand how it worked now. Like, it was just so weird. It didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it was a jumbled mess. It
not thought out, they didn't actually like say like we have an overall story we want to tell. You know, that's why I appreciate like Demon Slayer in these anime so much, is because like it's an overall story that has like a plan, whereas the fucking sequel trilogy was like a jumbled mess of garbage. Horrible.
Right.
And like to make Kylo and Rey like get together at the end and just I don't know, it was weird. It was a weird thing to ship, but it did.
No point for it, but
all right,
but anyway, I think it's time to go.
Yeah, I think that was a good run. We ran just over 2 hours, so I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for spending 2 hours of your Saturday on the Spot 'em podcast, and let's see if we can get another episode next week. We'll do a lot more planning, so that way we have a little bit more of a direction to go in. But I feel like we kind of ripped off each other pretty well. And if we can't do it next week, maybe in 2 weeks. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out.
Yep. Thanks, guys, again. I
Take
appreciate
it easy,
you.
Kai. Take it easy, Frenzy. We'll catch you next time. All right, guys.
All right.
Later.
Have a good one.
Later. Take care.